Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about Caruso and how he embarrasses LeBron James in that fake 2020 championship that we've all been saying is not real. No one respects that 2020 bubble championship. Nobody. And not even Caruso. And he understands and knows that that was not a real respected championship. And Caruso even said so in the post-game last night after the Oklahoma City Thunder won the championship. Caruso came to the post-game and said, now I got a real one. Now no one can say anything. Now I got a real one. A real championship. Because we all know 2020 was fake. We're going to talk about it briefly in this video, guys. I thought that was hilarious what he said in the post-game last night. Once again, exposing and embarrassing LeBron James and his fans who swear by that 2020 bubble. And remember, LeBron James said the hardest championship ever won. So we're going to talk about what Caruso had to say. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, you know I'm truly, truly humbled. Excuse me, guys, for real. Shout out to everybody in the membership. It means a lot, guys, for real. You guys coming through the live streams, for real, man. Much respect. Real recognized, real. All the true fans. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I just wanted to touch briefly on some comments I heard from Caruso this morning. So, if you guys don't know, which I'm sure everybody knows, the Oklahoma City Thunder pulled it off last night, won the championship in Game 7. Tyrese Halliburton went down the first half of the game with a bad injury. So, like I said, really bad for the Indiana Pacers because, I mean, for all intents and purposes, man, the Pacers looked like they were going to give it to the Thunder last night. And Halliburton goes down, and it just didn't have enough, man. There was a point in the third quarter where the Thunder hit like a couple of threes in a row, and they built like a 9 or 10-point lead, whatever it was. And the Pacers were never really able to get back from that. And the Oklahoma City were able to coast out to a win. But the story to me, besides obviously Halliburton going down, and like I said, the tragic injury for Halliburton, man, I feel bad for him. I told you my dad's been rooting for the Pacers and Halliburton all season. That was his guy. So to see him go down in that moment, terrible for the NBA. It's just terrible for the finals, man. It takes away a little something from OKC Thunder's win. To me, it does. When the star guy goes down that way, in that moment, it takes away a little bit from it. Like I said, I feel bad for the Pacers fans and the team overall. But anyway, shout out to the Thunder, man. And shout out to Caruso. So like I said, I was watching a little bit of stuff this morning on social media. I was flipping around and stuff, man. I saw this clip of Caruso, and the caption said, now I got a real one. And it says, Caruso says, now I got a real one. I was like, what's this guy talking about? And then I remembered, Caruso was the only member on the Oklahoma City Thunder team that had championship experience, that had any kind of experience like that, who was a champion. Technically, he was a champion. Caruso, he was part of that 2020 Lakers squad. Once again, a player that the Lakers got rid of that they didn't try to hold on to. And Caruso, who was a key member, who could have been a key member to a Lakers organization over these last several years. But this is what happens when LeBron James is your teammate, right? You really can't keep teams together, man. Guys are always leaving. They're always getting moved around. This and I mean, it's just the way it goes. So anyway, Caruso was the only guy with experience on that Oklahoma City Thunder team. You think about the age of that team, not having really any experience. They're very young, inexperienced. And Caruso was the elder statesman on that team. I believe he's 30 years old. Caruso, I don't know what year he's in season-wise. Maybe his 6th season or something like that. But shout out to him. So in the post-game press conference, he says, I got a real one now. Talking about the 2025 NBA championship that they just won versus the 2020 bubble championship that no one respects. Nobody does except for LeBron James fans. Think about that. The only people that respect that championship are the LeBron James fans. They're the only fan base that pumps that championship up, that talks about it as if it's the hardest championship ever. Remember, LeBron James himself has tried to tout that championship as the impossible championship. My God, the focus that I needed. You had to have a laser focus in the bubble. That was the hardest experience. We were in a Disney resort with people serving us hand and foot, but it was the hardest thing. This is what LeBron James wants you to believe. Once again, pumping up his experience, faking it so that he can seem and play the victim. Oh, woe is LeBron James. He couldn't go and drive to a restaurant whenever he wanted to. Meanwhile, you got Jimmy Butler selling coffee. I told you, LeBron James beat a barista in the 2020 finals. He beat a barista in the finals, man. Alex Caruso knows that finals was a joke, man, and he said so in the post game. The man literally came to the post game and said, now I got a real one. No one can say anything about this. You're right, Alex Caruso. Much respect to you for having a legit championship that you had to play an 82-game season. You had to go through all those rounds, no breaks in between the season. LeBron James wants 30 days off in between the regular season and the playoffs. He wants 40-minute quarters. This dude is a joke, LeBron James. He's not a competitor, man. He's not. He cares nothing about the game of basketball. The game of basketball is fine. The problem is the players. That's the problem. You fools out here like LeBron James. You're the problem. Not the fans, not the game, the structure. None of this stuff is the problem. It hasn't been the problem. All of a sudden now, LeBron James thinks it's a problem. So Alex Caruso exposed to LeBron James, his fan base, by saying that, and he pretty much said it with a little bit of a laugh, but I think it was pretty true, and he had a pretty straight face on that, man, because I know that he feels the same way, that people don't really respect that championship. No one's saying that it doesn't count. It's in the record books, but no one respects it, guys. The respect is the key for a lot of these players. They want that respect factor. They want to feel like they are respected as champions. True, earned it the right way. When you're with LeBron James, you don't really earn it the right way, unfortunately, and that's the truth. I want you guys to think about LeBron James' championships in his career. Do you think that his teammates can feel really good about that inside? Do you have that warm, fuzzy feeling? Do you think that Dwayne Wade feels better about his 06 ring or those 2012, 2013 ring that he got? You think he feels good about those or the 06 ring? I'm pretty sure the 06 ring means way more to him. So we have to think about these things. Do you think that 2020 championship really meant that much to Anthony Davis or Alex Caruso or some of these other guys that are quote-unquote champions? But it's not a respected championship, like Alex Caruso mentioned. So now he feels he has a real one. But he also took it a step further, and he also said something else about that championship in 2020, which once again contradicts what LeBron James says. And really, once again, it embarrasses LeBron James as always playing the victim and trying to pump his stuff up. Alex Caruso said that this championship was harder than the 2020 championship. But that's not what LeBron James be saying. LeBron James tells us it's the hardest championship ever, man, because he's in a bubble. My God, there was no travel. There was no road games. There was no crowd. I mean, what are we talking about here, dude? What are you crying about? You had 2-3 month break to recover and rest up. Like you wanted, I guess. You wanted a break between the regular season and the playoffs, and that's what you got in 2020. So I'm assuming that's why LeBron James is going with that way of thinking. He's like, hey, man, if I had a 30-day break between the regular season and the playoffs, I can come back healthy, 100% feeling great. Everyone else can feel good, and that can give us an advantage, give me a leg up over the guys and the other eras that didn't have these same breaks. You see what I'm saying? LeBron James wants concessions. He wants advantages over the guys in the past so that he could pump up his stats. Once again, that's lame. But Alex Caruso said that it was the harder championship than 2020 because of the inexperience of the Thunder. If you guys were in the live yesterday, I said at one point that the 1991 Chicago Bulls, by all accounts, from what I've researched, they were the first team in NBA history, guys, to win a championship without having a single player on that team having any finals experience at the time. The first team to do that, I believe, the 2015 Warriors were the second team to do that. If I remember correctly, I looked into this, and I believe that not one player on that 2015 Warriors squad had any finals experience. And what I mean by that, guys, is that there's been no player on the team that had ever played in a finals before, win or lose, never played in the finals. That was the Chicago Bulls in 91, guys. They were the first team to win a championship with having zero finals experience on the team. No one. That's why I say, look at them in game one. Everyone was shook but Michael Jordan. All right? So the inexperience that Alex Caruso is talking about for the Thunder, it means something, guys. That's true. There is truth to that. The inexperience of the Thunder. But someone like Alex Caruso being the elder statesman, having that experience, because remember, the Thunder had him on the team. So it wasn't the Thunder, were one of those teams that won without having any experience or anybody on the team with no experience. Alex Caruso was technically a champion, even though, like he said, it wasn't a respected championship. He was technically a champion, did play in an actual NBA Finals. So you had someone on the team that did have experience. All right, the Bulls didn't have anyone like that. No one on the team had any finals experience, guys. Not one single player. All right, so Alex Caruso made a great point by saying the inexperience of the Thunder, how hard it was to, like I said, get that team there, to play with that team, and like I said, lead them there, or not lead them, but show them the way. And like I said, and remember, he was the one that knew about this stuff. He had that experience, right? And he's talking about how hard it was because of their youth, right? And having to go through this. earning it for their first time, these guys. Someone like an SGA and the Jalen Williams, right? The Chet Holmgrens, right? This is their first time going through this stuff. So I believe Alex Caruso, right on the money with those comments. No one respects that bubble championship. And Alex Caruso himself exposes that fact, exposes LeBron James fans that this is the hardest championship, that people actually think that that's a real championship. Alex Caruso doesn't even think that it's a real championship. Like he said in the post game, now I got a real one. The man said, now I got a real one. Much respect, man. It's almost probably the way that Kobe Bryant felt when he won that first three-peat with Shaq. Not saying that no one respects those championships, but Kobe Bryant inside himself, he felt that he wasn't getting the respect that he probably felt that he wanted because he was with Shaq and winning with Shaq. That's why Kobe Bryant wanted to win without him, so that he can prove to himself and everyone else out there that he is that dude. That people knew he was, but he was not getting some credit from people because Shaquille O'Neal was there. If he wanted to be like Jordan, then he had to win without a dominant big man like Michael Jordan did. Kobe Bryant did that. So those two championships, I'm sure, mean more to him, and we all know they mean more to his legacy, right, than the first three-peat with Shaquille O'Neal did. We get all of that. That's what Kobe Bryant did. That's the greatness of him. So LeBron James and his championships on the Miami Heat, no one respects these things. Those MVPs he got in the Miami Heat, no one respects that, right? His Cavs super team, 3-1 comeback with the suspension of Draymond Green and a billion injuries, right? No one respects that one. That's a super team championship. And then the bubble championship on a super team where you had Anthony Davis, your best friend's the agent of Anthony Davis, request a trade to go along with Rajon Rondo and a Dwight Howard on that team. That's a stacked super team that you put together like you always do. No one respects this stuff. So shout out to Alex Caruso, like I said, for saying what he said, exposing LeBron James and all his fans. Don't no one respect that bubble championship. And Alex Caruso knows the deal, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Thunder for winning the championship. A real legit championship, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.